Hi everyone, my name is Jen Ballou of JuJu'be Doula. So I am here today to welcome you to my sacred space. I have created this space specifically for individuals to come into alignment with their divinity as birthing individuals, with their own sacred nature through the power of birth and beyond. I want each of you to just imagine birth as this amazing, spectacular event and not something to be afraid of. I help you get there. I help individuals empower, transform, and create change through the embodiment of their own sacred nature, of sacred sexuality, which is your ability to create and birth forth life in whatever way you desire, as well as conscious conception, birth, and parenting. How do you become a conscious parent? How do you release out all of your old patterns of perhaps the family you grew up in? Perhaps shift out of certain ways of doing things and learning how to become a new parent. Creating your own template of parenting. As a birth keeper, I provide you with the individualized care, support, and guidance that you truly desire. Those deeper desires which often lie beneath the surface. The care that you desire and deserve, and yet never would have believed you could ever receive. The support and the guidance that allows you to overcome any obstacle and make any choice from an empowered space of knowing, of understanding, and of being within your power. The power that allows you to create life and birth confidently, knowingly, honestly, and profoundly in your strength. The strength that allows you to create and birth not only your baby, but yourself as a sexy, powerful human being at the very same time. I am here to help you understand that creation and birthing is what you were designed for, and that you are destined to experience yourself fully through. In addition to my role as a birth keeper, I act as a guide to assist you in your journey through sacred sexuality, to open you up to all of the possibilities that exist, in order to assist you to fully step into the power that lies within yourself, and to express that self in all ways and at all times. To honor your truth on a much deeper level. What this might look like to you is the ability to transition into parenthood and to perhaps desire or discover and create an entire new way of living. Perhaps, creating your own business from home in order to support your ability to be closer to your children. So these are things that we explore and we hold space for when you work with me. As a doula, as a healer, as a coach, as your guide. I work to ensure that you feel fully confident in your ability to make choices and decisions that feel right for you and your family. I am there with you, supporting you all along the way, providing guidance, evidence-based education, physical, emotional, mental, spiritual, and energetic support as you step into your full potential. Keep in mind, sometimes I do this just through modeling and through my own life expression and the life that I have created for myself. This is something that I have, done within myself, and I want to be able to share with others as well. I am here to ensure that you rock your creative abilities in your birth, and that no matter how things unfold, you will know that you were fully informed and fully in your power during the process, that you are a part of the decision-making process, and that you birthed your baby. So that is a little bit about me and how I envision our connection if you choose to work with me as your doula or as other offerings that I have as well as somebody who's able to offer you birth wellness support, holistic birth wellness support. So I wanted to talk a little bit about what I offer specifically when it comes to my birth work. I also offer conception and postpartum services, but I have created a what I call Birth Divine. It is a course in birth. And essentially what this is a it is a full spectrum course or program, you could say, on some level, but essentially what it is it's everything you need in order to create that birth that you really desire within your control. Of course, there are certain things that are out of our control, but it's also recognizing that as such. So it is a mind, body, body, mind program. So that essentially means that you are working with reframing and creating perspectives in your mind that then allow your body to come on board, you could say. And it's also body mind, so it means that what you're feeling within the body, you're able to make those connections in your mind. So I'm feeling this, so it's reciprocal, right? It's an exchange. It's something that is going on within you, a reciprocal process that you're having of harmony and connecting within. This is a way to balance, the mind and the body. And this also brings in the heart and the soul and the spirit into birth as well. So imagining things on a spirit level. And this doesn't mean within the context of religion. It's just, your own inner spirit, your own inner guidance, your own intuition, your ability to birth forth, your ability to connect from within, and then to birth the way you are meant to birth and what works best for you. So this is meant to be a natural and organic process. And this is something that I have created. There is no getting around birth and death if you are truly meant to live. Embracing birth in its entirety means accepting everything that comes with it and preparing to birth your way and in your time. Unfortunately, in the current state of birth in this country, we find high maternal mortality rates, poor birth satisfaction, and unnecessary medical interventions guiding the process for most American families. When it comes to African American women, it's even worse. They are 3 to 4 more times more likely to die to experience complications during childbirth. They have a much higher maternal morbidity rate. So it is, we're not in a good state when it comes to birth in this country. And as a doula, I feel it is my mission, my passion, my desire to, be a warrior for having healthier birth experiences. This isn't just about the baby being born live. This is about the overall experience. And within my experience as a doula, I have seen this firsthand. I have seen this with my own 2 eyes. I have experienced it on a very deep level from my own experience as well. So what happened to the understanding that birth itself is a natural and organic process we as mammals, that we as humans, we go through? We were designed for. Why is it that we have become so detached from something so simple and natural as birth? Without getting into the details, as there is so much there to connect to, let us go back to our roots and allow ourselves to plan, prepare, and open ourselves up to birthing in our own innate power. So this is about essentially just wiping clean any idea of how you think birth is supposed to be or how it's supposed to go, all the ways we've been programmed through movies and other people's stories. And it's just cleaning the slate and clearing the slate and going back to our roots as primal beings. And knowing that we are fully capable and that it was designed specifically Birth was designed specifically in a specific way in order to maximize our potential as parents, in order to create that rewiring in the brain and that ability to continue even when things may be challenging. And it's based in neuroscience. And so coming to this understanding within birth is so, it's beautiful for me to witness and to understand that we don't have to do anything other than just allow ourselves to birth. And all you really need, as long as it is a healthy pregnancy, of course, and a healthy a healthy, everything's looking good and it's low risk, then all you need is really gentle support in understanding. And this is not meant to take away from other, types of birth. I'm a C-section mama. I intend to have a VBAC when the time is right. I understand what it's like to birth in a way that I was not my first desire, was not my first intention. So I know what that process looks like as far as healing from that, if that is what you desired. If you choose to have a C-section, then it's how do you have that natural and organic process as well? How do you have that decision-making process? How do you connect yourself to being a parent, to bonding with your child, and what does that look like? So this is done by reconnecting to your own inner guidance and your source within, allowing what is right for you and your baby to present itself and go with that, not the fear that we often experience that gets in the way of our ability to birth divine. This is where the power of the sacred feminine really comes in, through the act of giving life and birthing. The evidence and support of a natural and physiological birth is monumental and undeniable. So how do we just support that, yet understand that there are other outcomes as well? But how do we continue to support that natural and physiological process as being, the most optimal? How will you step into your power to support that reality? This is not to say, again, that births that require certain medical interventions are any less divine or any less special. Simply that there is a natural and organic process that is connected to that birth process. So you are involved. You are a part of that process. It's not just something that's handed to you or something that you think you're supposed to do because those that came before did. So this means that you have your own organic process and you come to the conclusion based on the circumstances presenting. So you make your own decisions, informed decisions through that process. They're not choices that are based on fear or perhaps this is how it's done or various other ways that I see within current birth practice, or perhaps this is what my doctor told me to do. No, it's truly, owning your own birth integrity. Let's prepare for your birth divine, knowing what you are meant to experience first, and then by aligning your choices to go forward with that model of birth. So how do we come in alignment with that which we desire? That is a part of this process. You will then be able to naturally make choices as parents in your power, and you won't regret any or second guess any. You'll just know that you might made the right decision because you're present with the experience and you know that you're making the right decision in that moment. And perhaps if things don't go the way we wanted, it's how do you process through those emotions and how do you clear that experience in order to be able to move forward and not and still see it as an experience that has brought you that which you desire on another level, some greater desire that you may have had. How did your birth bring you there? I've experienced this firsthand where I did not have a good birth experience my first time around. It was horrible. It was traumatic. But I've been able to go back and to understand understand the experience and to come to terms with it, and to realize that if it wasn't for that experience, I could not be here. I would not be here supporting others to, number one, own their experience, and also to create their own experience of birth itself, and to honor that experience on a very deep level, and to see it as a guiding post for me in the birth of my son, and how it changed the course of my life and my destiny, and I'm so grateful for that. Your birth will be one of the most monumental experiences of your life, and I ensure that I am there fully present with you on all levels, physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually during pregnancy, to ensure that your experience is optimal and that you are supported, nurtured, and held as a sovereign individual, throughout your pregnancy and throughout your birth. I work to connect you to the understanding of local hospital and birthing center policies, the style of care your current provider is aligned to. So again, making that connection and understanding that perhaps if you want a certain birth experience, you may not be with the right care provider. So how do you find a new care provider, or find another way to work with this care provider to ensure that your desires are still being honored? How do you do that? So how do we adjust to our birth plan? Staying aware of all options and shifting into new possibilities is key into actualizing your highest birth potential at this time. I do work to study and embrace the understanding of all childbirth education philosophies and options. So it's not like this is the only, this is a method and it doesn't work with other methods. If you come to me as a Bradley student, I work with that. If you come to me as a hypnobirthing student, I work with that. I just see birth as a journey, and I'm here to, essentially guide you and empower you and give you all of the tools that you need in order to create that journey that you need. Like if you were to go on a journey and you didn't have a plan in place, and you didn't have backup options, or extra food supply, and a map, and all those different things, like how would you be able to navigate your way forward? So this is not to say that things don't change and plans don't change and storms don't happen and different things like that, but how do you get back on track, and how do you continue to move forward? So I do respectfully and happily support all birthing options without bias or agenda. I will not judge you. I am there with you, understanding you, supporting you. That includes cesarean births, that includes medicated or unmedicated births, home births, VBACs, adoptions, and surrogacies. So you as a parent who is choosing to go through the surrogacy journey, how do you experience birth? You're meant to experience birth as well and feel connected to the birth of that child, to the conception of that child, to the journey of that child into form. And how do you honor that journey and, birth as well? You are a part of that birth experience, and I am just here to connect you to that reality so you can experience it and feel that birth energy move through you, and feel that joy and that ecstasy in when that child comes into this world. To be a part of it fully, wholly, and completely. All births are unique, and we work to create your own individual optimal birth experience, both prior and postpartum, through birth story processing. That said, I also work to ensure that you are fully aware of how each choice you make affects other aspects of your ideal plan. So, just making you aware of the possibility with that choice. What are the options with that choice? What are other options with that, when you confront that choice or you come to that choice point, and realizing sometimes they don't align with one another, and that's okay. In these situations, we review all options to come up with that ultimate plan that you are aware of and ready to come into alignment with if you so choose. So again, it's just seeing the greater scope and the greater plan in place. If you choose to work with me, I support you to release any pent-up fears or distortions surrounding yourself, your partner, if you are choosing one, or your family, and what it truly means to be a parent. So this is really digging down deep and, clearing out perhaps any old patterns that we've been holding on to. We can work individually on you, the one who's preparing for birth, and also on your ready and willing partner and your other children. So this means preparing your partner and preparing your children for what to expect and what comes next. They need support too. We all need support. All of this work is accomplished through our own vibrational harmony. So how do we come into harmony without needing to change another individual, and how do we just accept where each individual is at and be at peace with that. We work to connect you deeper into your new role as a parent, guardian, and steward of the life you are bringing into this world. So this is essentially your bonding, how you bond and your ability to bond deeper in your life experience. Any fears or doubts we intend to work through and release prior to the act of birthing as much as possible, of course. So that is one of the most important things, is to really release out of all of your cellular fear, anything that you're holding on to within any part of who you are. Releasing it out will allow you to birth less you can birth pain-free, FYI. You don't have to experience pain. So, and the more you're able to release, the easier that becomes. The easier it becomes to just relax and allow your body to do the work. Allow yourself to just birth freely in your intuition, however you are meant to. I offer basic birth doula support, which includes 2 prenatal appointments, up to 14 hours of in-person birth support at your birthing location. Access to the natural breastfeeding course. You'll have access to that to support your breastfeeding journey, and 1 postnatal appointment. You also receive on-call support from the time you book until 4 weeks postpartum. I also offer the Full Spectrum Birth Divine, which is course in birth, which is the course in birth. It is a journey into the creation of the mind-body, body-mind, heart, soul, and spirit connection that includes my above doula support, the support that I just discussed, as well as the added support of coaching, embodiment practice, education, hypnosis, and more. So this is a full spectrum course to allow you to prepare to your utmost. And this you may use individually. If you're not in the Southern California area, you may still work with me in order to work through this program, in order to embody this program, and in order to use this. And you may have an individual doula who you're working with, or if you have me as your doula as well, you have the whole thing, you have the whole shebang. So that said, I can work with your budget. Let's just make sure that we are a right fit. So that is a little bit about my Birth Divine support. And I hope to be able to share that with you. And I hope that you will take some time to connect to my website, www.JuJu'beDoula.com. You can find some of my offerings outside of the birth scope there, if you're interested in that. Or you can contact me at the link below in order to schedule your free 15-minute discovery session to see how I can support you in the creation of your birth divine. Thank you. Toodaloo.